The rains had failed again. In the village of Mbata, the earth cracked like an old man's palms, and the river that once sang was now silent. Nsaku, a poor farmer, knelt in his barren field, scooping dust in his hands. His wife Lelo stirred an empty pot inside their hut, humming to distract their 3 children from the gnawing in their bellies. That evening, as Nsaku wandered the forest searching for wild yams, an eerie blue light pulsed between the trees. Following it, he found a gourd. Not an ordinary one, but one carved with strange symbols that glowed faintly. When he shook it, it sloshed heavily. "Who leaves a full gourd in the forest?" he muttered, uncorking it. The scent of smoked fish and spices flooded his senses. He poured and poured until his hat overflowed with steaming cassava leaves stewed in palm oil. News of Nsaku's magic gourd reached Chief Ngembo, a man whose belly strained against his leopard skin belt. "A gourd that never empties," he scoffed. "Then it belongs to me." He sent his warriors at dawn. They smashed Nsaku's drying rack, kicked over his fire, and snatched the gourd. But when the chief poured, only brackish water dribbled out. "You tricked me," he roared, ordering Nsaku beaten. Lelo intervened. "Great chief," she said, bowing low, "the gourd obeys its master's heart. Let me show you." She whispered to it in Lingala Nikisi, "Yampamba pesa, biso e loco, yakoleka sacred charm, give us abundance." Instantly roasted antelope and honeyed plantains piled high. The chief's eyes gleamed. "Teach me the words." Lelo smiled. "First you must purify yourself. Bathe in the river at midnight." That night, as the chief submerged, Lelo released driver ants from a bark pouch. The warriors fled, slapping at their legs. Undeterred, the chief sent his diviner, who cast a spell to steal the gourd's power. Lelo countered by rubbing chili paste on its rim. When he licked it, he ran screaming, "It burns with witchcraft." For the final test, Lelo gave the chief a stronger chant, "Keba namoto keba nankisi, beware of fire, beware of charms." As he shouted it, the gourd exploded with flour, blinding him. In the chaos, Nsaku's family escaped back home. Nsaku trembled. "We can't hide forever." Lelo hushed him. The gourd was never magic. She lifted their sleeping mat beneath, lay a tunnel to her brother's hut, where he'd cooked extra meals each night. The real trick was making greed blind them. When the chief's men returned, they found the hut empty, except for a real gourd inscribed, "Hunger ends when we share, power breaks when we hoard." In the days that followed, the villagers began leaving small gifts of food at each other's doors. Children played near the river again, and the women sang as they pounded cassava. Nsaku and Lelo worked their fields side by side, their laughter carrying farther than the scent of any magic stew. The chief, humiliated, locked himself in his compound, while his warriors quietly returned to their families. And though the rain still came late that year, no one in Mbata went to bed hungry again. Sometimes, on quiet nights when the fireflies danced, Nsaku would take down the carved gourd from its shelf and smile. It sat empty now, its symbols faded, but its lesson remained full and bright as the moon over the Congo. The children would gather around, begging to hear the story once more, how their parents had outwitted a chief, how a village learned to share, and how the greatest magic wasn't in a gourd at all, but in the wisdom to know true abundance when they saw it.